So now next we are going to discuss about the for example. So in earlier we have started discussion about control structures in R. We have already discussed if else. Now we are moving to for statement in R. So as you already aware of what is the use of for. So this is used for looping. Okay, so this structure is used when a loop is to be executed fixed number of times. It is commonly used for iterating over the elements of an object like list or vector. So below is the syntax. So I am just copying this syntax and then we are pasting here. I am creating one file here. Okay, in this we are pasting. So with example it will be more clear. So this is the example, first example. So I am copying and pasting. Okay, so what is it? For I in 1 to 10 print I. Now what this 1:10 means? Here I have already executed and shown you. 1:10 means it is iterating the values from 1 to 10. So this is the starting value and this is the ending value. Okay, so normally it is incrementing it by one value. So now I am copying and pasting this for statement. So as opposed to C, C++ and Java, here instead of equal to sign to assign the values to a variable I, here I is used as variable in which you are getting different values. Okay, and now you are printing. Just check what happens. So what is the output? So in I, what is first value? 1. So you are printing I. So 1 is printed, 2 is printed till 10 is printed. So I hope you have understood it. Simple for example. Next example is we can use here, just check. So it is for I in X, print X of I. Now what is X here? So here X is assigned to some values which are nothing but the strings. Okay, so before executing this for loop we should know what is the content of X. So what is X? X is a vector of strings. Okay, so we will very first create the vector and then we will try to iterate it. Now what do you expect output to be? What output you are expecting? See, first line is okay, that's why no error. Now I am printing what? Print X of I. Now X is having apples, oranges, bananas and strawberries. Now I in X and print X of I. What output you are expecting? So you are expecting actually the apples, oranges, bananas, strawberries to be printed, right? But it is not printing, it is just printing the value as what? The NA, that is not applicable. So we are not getting output here. So what is the reason and how we can get these apples? So again I am moving to another example. Now see here. Now I am executing. Now see what is the output. The output is as expected, apples, oranges, bananas and strawberries. So now what you have got here? So X is the vector having strings. Okay, so when you have written X of I and I is not having the values, that is indexes of the strings available in the vector X, but you have written I in X, that means X is assigned to I. So x is assigned to I means whole vector is getting assigned to x and you are assigning that to I. Okay, so here you are not getting output. Now what you are doing, you are storing 1 to 4 in I. Okay, so now x of I, that means the first value, second value, third value and fourth value will be printed. Okay, that is four strings will be printed. So I hope you have understood it. Next is, I'm copying both of this like this. Actually I should copy it here. This is one kind of for and this is another example. Now before executing this for, let me only, I think I have told you already, sequence x, what is giving? So sequence, what is the sequence? You can get the help. So from this what you have understood, sequence and x is giving you how many values are there, 1 2 3 4 strings are there. Okay, so that is given here. So let me check whether the help is available. So from this what you have understood, the sequence x is giving you values 1 2 3 4 and now we are copying it. So it is as good as what, I in 1 to 4, because here also we got sequence of x, that is 1 2 3 4, it is same as 1:4. So now if you will write print x of I, it will print the values. Okay, clear? Next is, now what is the difference here? For I in 1:4, same thing, and now print x of I, same thing is written, but here curly brackets are missing. This is the difference. Okay, now will it execute? Yes, it will execute and you will get the same output. So if you don't have multiple statement, as we are doing in C, C++, Java, if you don't have multiple statement, you can avoid use of curly brackets. So I hope you have understood the for. Next is while. So while is again a looping statement. So here it begins by testing a condition and executes only if condition is found to be true. So once the loop is executed, the condition is tested again and hence it is necessary to alter the condition such that loop doesn't go infinity. So this is a normal discussion about while, you are already aware of it. So I am just copying it to work on. So let me here paste it again. So here very first, as usual, whenever we are using while, what is required? We should initialize some variable. So here also we have initialized this variable. Okay, then this while, see, you can write like this also. Now what happened? Enter while in I is assigned to 1. So this total statement is wrong. So very first what we need to do, we have to first assign I is equal to 1 and then we have to execute this while statement, right? So now again it is showing error. So what is the error here? So while I is less than 10, print I, and then you have written I is assigned to I plus 1. So here what we are expecting, so here error is what? Unexpected symbol in while I is less than 10. So and then there is a print I and again I is written. Okay, so better we update it. So how we will update it? So I don't find any error here. So very first while I is less than 10. This is a condition. Let me check I is having some value. Sorry. Let me check I is having value. Yes, 1. Now we are writing while I less than 10. Okay. While I is less than 10, and then what you are doing, you are printing I. Okay, then you are doing I is assigned to I plus 1, then closing the bracket. What happened now? Is it working? Yes, it is working properly. So what we have done, I is tested whether I is having value or not. Okay, so then I have written same thing, I less than 10 comma print I, and then I have assigned I to incremented value of I, and then we are printing the values I 1 to 9. Why not 10? Because here condition written is I less than 10, so till 9 only it is printing. So I hope you have understood it. Next is the repeat. So repeat is used like this. So a repeat loop is used to iterate over a block of code multiple number of times. There is no condition check in repeat loop to exit the loop. We must ourselves put a condition explicitly inside the body of the loop and use the break statement, okay, to exit the loop. Failing to do so will result in an infinite loop. So you are already aware of it. Okay, then next statement is useful when we want to skip current iteration of a loop without terminating it. So on encountering next, the R parser skips further evaluation and starts next iteration of the loop. Below is the syntax, that is only next you have to use. Now break. So a break statement is used inside a loop. Just now we have seen. So inside a loop, repeat for while to stop the iteration and flow the control outside the loop. So instead, in a nested looping situation where there is a loop inside another loop, this statement exits from the innermost loop that is being evaluated. So what is the syntax for using break? It is just break. So let me use one break statement. So suppose here condition we should write is, again I is equal to 1. What is the value of I? What is the value of I? I is equal to 10. Let me assign once again I value to 1, and again let me copy this like this. Print I if I is greater than 3. Okay, then I want to break, suppose, and then I am writing I is assigned to I plus 1 and closing bracket. So what this will do, it will print I, then if I is greater than 3 it will break, and otherwise it will continue to increment I. So what happened? See here, I is assigned 1, while I is less than 10 it is printing I 1, 2, 3. Okay, now when I is greater than 3, so now what is the value of I? I is greater than 3 when it is printing 4 here. If I write print statement after this if condition, then it will print till 3 only. Okay, since print is written, so it is first printing 4 and then checking condition and breaking, and it is not printing further things. So in this way you can use the break inside any loop. So I hope you have understood the conditional statements used in R. So with this we are completing the second assignment. So from this lab, what you have understood, so students will be able to execute various R commands and use control structures on RTool and RStudio for their application. So thus we have exercised all these things: head view, data types, variables, operators, vectors, lists, matrices, data frames, factors, various types of graphs and control structures, taking suitable examples. So you can refer the tutorial points or any other good site for getting more knowledge about these points. Thank you.